Good evening, everyone. I am Shilme A. Hernado, the first reporter of Group 2. So, our topic is all about education for all. Education for All, or EFA, is an international initiative first launched in 1990 to bring the benefits of education to every citizen in every society. So, when we say all, it means that the Constitution required that all kids should be given equal educational opportunity no matter what their race, ethnic background, religion, or sex, or whether they are rich or poor, citizen or non citizen. And to realize this aim, a broad coalition of national government, civil society group, and development agencies such as UNESCO and World Bank Group committed to achieving six specific educational goals. So the first goal is to expand and improve comprehensive early childhood care and education, especially for the most vulnerable and disadvantaged children. So that is why we have inclusive education and special education. It is to provide proper education to students who have special educational needs due to severe learning difficulties, physical disabilities, or behavioral problems. Its purpose is not necessarily to teach class content but to build the academic and developmental skills required to be a successful and independent learners. So the second goal is to ensure that by 2015, all children, particularly girls, those in different circumstances and those belonging to ethnic minorities, have access to and complete free and compulsory primary education of good quality. So I read an article titled The Gender Dimension of Minority and Indigenous Education. It is written by Catherine Ramsey, and it is stated there that it is well documented that poverty is a major factor contributing to children not attending to school. So when poverty prevents all children being educated, the education of boys may be prioritized over the girls. Communities may not see any benefits in educating their daughter. Girls' labor is frequently needed to help the family, and should they get an education and secure better work, that labor will benefit their husband's family rather than benefiting their parents who paid for the schooling. Therefore, this goal will help to ensure that girls belong to ethnic minorities should have proper education because it is a right of every child. So, the third goal is to ensure that the learning needs of all young people and adults are met through equitable access to appropriate learning and life skill program. Um, the goal is largely concerned with broadening the opportunity to learning and continuous education and advancing the fulfillment of the right to education. It encompasses the learning needs of all young people and adults and includes all mode of learning delivery, formal, non-formal, vocational training, distance education, on-the-job training, and self-learning. For example, to the adults, kana bitong ang program na TESDA or Technical Educational and Skills Development Authority. Its goal are to develop the Filipino workplace with work-class competencies and positive work values, and to provide quality technical, educational, and skills development through its direction, policy, and program. The fourth goal is to achieve 50% improvement in level of adult literacy by 2015, especially for women, and equitable access to basic and continuing education for all adults. At the close of 20s, the Asia Pacific region reviewed regional and national progress towards the EFA goals and targets. The resulting Asia Pacific end of decade note on education for all takes stock on the progress, persisting issues, and remaining challenges in achieving each EFA goal. Based on both quantitative and qualitative analysis, it outlines the prospect and implications for achieving the EFA literacy goal by 2015 and provides recommendation for government actions and international support. So that is the end of my report. So the next reporter is Batad. Thank you.
Okay. So the fifth um Education for All goals is that to eliminate gender disparities in primary and secondary education by 2005 and achieve gender equality in education by 2015 with a focus on ensuring girls full and equal access to and achievement in basic education of good quality. So this only means that the fifth goals for EFA is that there is no gender disparities even in primary and secondary education. So this only means that there the goal of EFA is to achieve gender equality in education wherein their focus is to give the girls full and equal access in order to achieve basic education of good quality. So the sixth goal of EFA is that improve all aspects of the quality of education and ensure the excellence of all so that recognized and measurable learning outcomes are achieved by all, especially in literacy, numeracy, and essential life skills. So this last goal of education for all, it means that um, their goal is to improve all aspects of the quality of education, wherein they're going to ensure the excellence of the children in order to recognize and ma-recognize and they can measure the learning outcomes of the children wherein they can excel in literacy, numeracy, and other essential life skills. Okay, so that is all for the goals of education for all. So in 2000, there are 189 countries and their partners adopted the two EFA goals that align with Millennium Development Goals or MDGs 2 and 3, which refer to universal primary education and gender parity. So during the year of 2000, naay 189 countries and their partners wherein ilang giadapt ang duha ka EFA goals nga na-align sa Millennium Development Goals. So kani nga goals mo ni siya ang universal primary education and gender parity. So the World Bank recognizes that achieving these goals requires supporting the full EFA commitment. So na-recognize sa the World Bank nga if i-achieve lang gyud ni kana nga mga goals, nag-need siya og support wherein ma-achieve na to ang full EFA commitment. So, let's move on to the next question. Why is EFA important? Unsa man jud ni ka importante ning education for all? Nganong dapat man gid nato siyang tukion? Nganong importante man gid ni? Okay, so although there has been steady progress towards achieving many EFA goals, many challenges remain. Obviously, if you have para sama nato, if daghan ta goals sa kinabuhi, expected nga daghan sa tag challenges nga mabagtan. Okay, so first challenges is that today an estimated 250 million children around the world are unable to read and write even after spending 3 or more years in school. So, kanin, tinuod jud ni kay imagine, tibo kalibutan na 250 million nga bata nga bisag 3 years sila ga-spend sa pag-eskwela, kada adlaw mo sa eskwelahan. Pero, nagid tay mabantayan nga bata nga di gyapon siya kay baw mo suwat, di kay baw mo basa, so kung sa og tudlo di gyapon jud kay baw. So this is one of the challenges of the EFA. Okay, so let's move on to the next reporter.
In 2012, 58 million children were out of school. Half of these children lived in conflict-affected countries. In sub-Saharan Africa, girls accounted for 56% of out-of-school children in 2012. In 2011, only 60% of countries had achieved gender parity in enrollment at the primary level and 38% at the secondary level. In around one-third of countries, fewer than 75% of primary school teachers are trained according to national standards. In 2011, around half of young children had access to pre-primary education, and in sub-Saharan Africa, the share was only 18%. Achieving the education for all goals is critical for attaining all 8 MDGs or Millennium Development Goals, in part due to the direct impact of education on child and reproductive health, as well as the fact that education for all has created a body of experience in multi-partner collaboration toward the 2015 targets. Simultaneously, achieving the other MDGs such as improved health, access to clean drinking water, decreased poverty, and environmental sustainability are critical to achieving the education MDGs.
So, what is the World Bank doing to achieve education for all? So, the World Bank Group is the largest financier of education in the developing world. They focus on learning for all and ensuring that all children can attend school and learn. They are also committed to helping countries to reach sustainable development goal, which calls for access to quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. So, ang goal there sa World Bank is to provide and support education for all and ensure that all children is mahatagan sila og opportunities to continue their education and to achieve their goals and have a brighter future. So the bank gives some supports education for all by taking multidimensional efforts to first improve educational quality and learning outcomes, because they all know that all children has the right to access safe quality education, because millions of children across the world are out of school and some are not learning basic skills as a result of poor quality education. So that the World Bank wants and find a ways to improve educational quality and learning outcomes, that all children will learn different skills and different ideas. So the second is to improve primary school access and equity. So the bank, they want to provide all children with access to literacy resources such as rural literacy, solutions, reading and verbal communication, basic school, writing and computing, that will help children to learn more about things and that will help children to develop their skills. And they want also to improve equity in education through reforming practices, policies, and procedures at the school and district levels to support academic fairness and inclusion, and ensure that all children has the resources, teachers, interventions, and supports they need to be successful. So the third is to improve the dropout and retention rates of girls as well as the learning outcomes. So we all know that many students drop out of school for a variety of reasons. Some learner may feel that they are too behind academically to catch up, while others may have problems at home. So the goal of bank is to support education for all. Is whatever the reason, they provide systems exist to support and help all children to continue their education and to continue the learnings by staying in school, earn diplomas, and achieve their goals. So ang goal sa World Bank sa Education for All is males ang pag-drop out sa mga estudyante nga mga babae or kailangan walay ma-drop out. Mauna ang kailangan nilang i-improve sa World Bank. And the fourth is to promote early childhood development. So they want to promote early childhood development, ensuring that children receive the nutrition, health care, learning opportunities, responsive caregiving, and protection from harm that they need to be reach. The developmental potential begins by building capacity within families and extends to national policies and cross-sectoral collaboration. So they create an investments for all children and the services to support the development. Bank benefits for all children. They provide services to all children with the skills they need to be successful in school. So we should protect education for all prospects in fragile states. The bank helps country to achieve the education goals through finance and knowledge services in the forms of analytic work, policy, advice, and technical assistance. And that would be all, and I hope you've learned something about our topic, which is education for all. And thank you for listening.